Hi. Am I late? I looked up and the timer was gone. Welcome in, everyone. Hi, I am Chef Jay Tay. Welcome to see all of you back. Happy to see all of you back. Captions, why do you constantly fail me? I hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful Monday. You've had a great start to your week. You've gotten things done. I have strawberries. Early raids. Welcome, raiders. Hello, hello. Appreciate you sharing your community, Banani. Oh, so a short little John. Hi, Jupanani. I am just strawberry. We're starting with coffee, though. I'm going to be doing strawberry margaritas. And then I've just got strawberries because I'm not going to use all of them for margaritas. And then I'm making carnitas from scratch. I'm going to make some tortillas to eat the carnitas. And I have cabbage, green onion, freeze-dried cilantro, pickled jalapeno, and sour cream. All to pair with that for building tacos with carnitas. So that is the plan for tonight's dinner. You're all catching me, Raiders, you're all catching me at the very beginning of my stream. I start at 4:30 Pacific. And I typically start with a cup of joe. I haven't had any booze in ages. I've only drank maybe a handful of times this year. I'm very much trying to keep the booze down in my life lately. Enjoy your lurk and your feast. Thank you so much for the raid. I can't do any of the Taco Bell fried stuff. Like the puffed up shells and stuff, they just... Regardless of how much frying I do at home, they're just so much oil. I'm not sure why, but the conversation involving Taco Bell got me to remember they used to have extremely hot, like, apple pies back in the day. They probably called them empanadas, I don't remember. And that reminded me that McDonald's is bringing back their apple pies. You know, the predecessor to Hot Pockets, where the outside is frozen and the interior is molten lava hot. Yeah, that might have already happened, actually, too. It might be over already. Hi there. Welcome, Tiff. Welcome, everyone. I appreciate you joining me tonight. Cheers. What was that weird zoom-in camera? What was that? What you doing? Good stuff. So where do we start with things tonight? I think we're going to start with the chicken. We're going to move the strawberries off of the cutting board for chicken time. I'm always excited for a reason to make tacos. Even though carnitas are not traditionally eaten as tacos, but Well, that's why it's gambling. Like, you don't expect to win when you gamble. Or at least you shouldn't. Just tell yourself it went to the schools, even though it probably didn't. Hey, Kip. I did. I have strawberries. I just took them off the cutting board to handle the chicken. Oh, which I'm now realizing none of you just saw me do. It's on the recording at least. So I chopped up a chicken there while all of you stared at me working on the cutting board. So you got 2 chicken breasts, 2 wings, 2 thighs and legs. And I did manage to get strawberries. On the strawberries. They've very obviously been out of the ground or off of the plant for a minute. I would say they're probably a day old. And some of them are starting to turn. On the other hand, they're likely to be nice and fresh and actually delicious. You can go there. How am I missing this joint? Oh well. Second one went through like butter. First one just wanted to be a problem. Hey, Muskeg. Captions didn't even try with that one. It just started and then gave up. Like, got 3 letters in. It's like, I don't know what he said. First chicken carcass in the new freezer. He debates if he really wants to debone all of this while the chicken is raw. I'm gonna leave these skin on for the rest of this process. Move this off the side for a moment. With the hand reamer. There's one cold orange. It's been in that refrigerator. So we got lime and orange juice. Half cup of water. Chicken bouillon. Do I want to strain this first? Yeah, let's give it a quick strain. I prefer my OJ without pulp. Are you kidding me? I can't believe I just did that. Like 90% of it just went down the sink. At least 90%. And that's killing most of my OJ in this dish. The rest of that's no problem. I got lots of lime. I got lots of bouillon. Boo. No orange now. I can't believe that I did that. I am just... wow. Always a good time. Still a key lime in there since we're having fun with this party. I gotta get more chicken stock out of the freezer, out of the chest freezer. It's all in the chest freezer now, and like frozen and stuff. Arrgh. I'm so annoyed at myself for doing that. Alright, we'll throw all of our chicken in here. Making sure it gets between all the pieces. Including these little guys. And those are all going to hang out together for a bit. It's been so long since I've done fresh OJ in anything for a while, and I was actually so looking forward to this part of this, because it has been ages since I've used any of it, really. I mean, I've been using the cheaper bottles of citrus for probably a year now. And then I go and just throw it all down the sink. Get rid of the raw chicken stuff and clean this all up, so it's going to take a moment. Get this all get it all desalmonella'd. You know, I never looked into why salmonella got its name. Like, was it originally discovered in salmon? Does it look like a fish? If you look at it under a microscope, like, how did we get to this name? Was salmon patient zero? Was it patient zero, or was it the doctor? If it's just the name of a guy. I say this, and I probably had to know this before. My brain has just wiped it out of necessary information to know on the day-to-day. Head of the USDA, okay. That was one heck of an honorable naming in his honor. I do too much. Okay, chicken stuff mostly done. Yeah. I don't know what to think about all of this AI stuff. I do know that there's too few of them in mainstream use. There needs to be more, but that seems to be common day. Like, I thought we sort of learned during the Great Depression we weren't supposed to have monopolies. And in the day and the age of the internet, oh, well, you got to buy something, just go to Amazon. You got to... Everything is dialed down to one provider. We need, like, instead... And there's, like... I sort of view it as there basically being 3, maybe 3.5 AI companies out there that are in major use. And there should be like at least 20. I don't understand this world in that sense. Like, you got YouTube for recorded content and Twitch for live streaming. There's a couple other live streaming companies, but they don't really count. Yeah, that's with one of the things that they're doing with recent political moves. Well, we're not going to use your software anymore. You're not going to be able to spy on us anymore. Okay, what am I doing? We're waiting on chicken to chill out for a bit. What am I doing while doing that? Maybe starting on tortillas? Let's make some tortilla dough. But I also think that was an AI thing too. Like, I've been using Linux for all sorts of stuff now that, like, you can just ask it to do it. You don't have to remember all the different command lines. I mean, I know the basics. I grew up learning DOS, so it's not foreign world to me. It's a lot easier when I don't have to remember ls/ blah 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 blah. But Windows operating... Well, to give you also where I think the world, or at least they're preparing the world to go to, is they for the longest time, the overlords of the computer world have always been trying to push people into being console users. And we're sort of there with cell phones. But with AI, we're now going to be able to... I mean, it basically gets rid of the need of an operating system if you can just ask the AI to do it. Like, it gets rid of the Apple Store. It gets rid of the Microsoft Store. It gets rid of the Microsoft OS. It gets rid of all of that. It just makes all of it obsolete. That said, I don't think it's actually going to be obsolete at the same time. It's just going to be a smaller percentage of people that actually have a PC and actually have a full-fledged operating system and bother with all of that. Like, we already went through... We had PCs, and then we had laptops, which I sort of view as the first sort of, we're trying to get you to be console users. And then we had tablets, then cell phones. Now we have NVIDIA putting out a system on a chip systems, you know, going to be creating systems the size of Raspberry Pis. Let's see, what do we got over here? Polenta, semolina, white rice, green lentils. I knew I had some masa in here somewhere. They keep trying to, in that same theme, in that same vein, they keep trying to make cloud gaming a thing. And they haven't quite gotten there yet. But that's the same sort of thing, like, we have Twitch now adding the ability you can just play a game through the site. You know, that gets rid of the computer, you know. You don't need the CPU then. Well, what's his name? Head of OpenAI has talked about knowledge being, you know, basically tokenized. Like, if you want to know something, you're basically paying to get it. We're doing pretty well at Bits. We're doing okay. I still need this out still, though. I still need that out. And water. Warm water. We could also go to the whole controversy right now about the new GTA and how, even though they have a physical version, the physical version is going to just have a download code in it. It's not going to have a physical version of the game. And so when they choose to stop letting you play the game, that needs a bit more water. We're just mixing this for consistency. The masa is not going to have anything really holding it together. I don't know what the mentality behind them making, I don't know, maybe they were just giving it away for free, and I just don't understand, but with vibe coding and VS Code, they have just cranked up the costs on tokens so much for the newer models that it's like you say 20 cents to find how to spell out a word. Like, try doing a prompt and it having you cost $10. A single prompt. There's also the story just recently where PlayStation is deleting something like 500 movies or something off of its system. And so there's people that have bought movies through their PlayStation that are now going to get deleted. We're also questionably in a state where if you don't have investments, you're screwed because inflation is just going to keep going. I don't know. I'm not an economist, but that's a possibility. But we're coming up on, at least here in California, on changes with our water. Like, it was a while ago now that they changed the system, but they did it with a 20-year rollout plan. I think we're probably getting close there. I'm making my tortillas with ribeye fat, by the way. I didn't point this, but yeah, this is beef ribeye fat. My very limited understanding of what's changing is apparently we might be going to a system closer to what apparently Australia does, where they have an almost like groundwater stock market. I just don't understand the market these days. Like, the idea that the markets have skyrocketed, they're not doing great now, but the idea that they've skyrocketed while we're, like, not winning a war that no one really wanted. And the stock market's like, wow, it's time to go up. Of course, the stock guy here on Twitch had a decent clip the other day about and it is how this is basically the weekend war where, you know, as long as the stock market and the bonds aren't active, the war's on. The rest of the time, what war? No, we're signing peace treaties. Okay, now that we got that balled up and resting, we can get into chicken. Back into chicken, rather. Cooking oil. So in other news, if you weren't following along, I've done 50-50, well, roughly 50-50, more flour probably, but AP flour and corn masa mixed taco shells, tortillas. Next, I'm going to be searing all of this chicken and then allowing it to braise with the remaining liquid. Yeah. I haven't been happy with captions. Like, I've been itching to maybe get rid of them again. Like, they still... Like, I would still leave the normal captions, but... We'll sort strawberries while we're waiting on the pan to heat. Keep these for snacking. We warm over here yet? Yeah, we're starting to smoke. Hmm. I've sent out more than 150,000 frames this stream. I don't know why captions put a dollar amount on that, but hey, I wish I could get $1 for every stream frame I sent out. Wow, chat got quiet. What did I do? I'm heating up some sugar water in back here, getting it to dissolve. Which it does seem to be dissolved now. Ice cubes. Let's do 2 of those. I know y'all got bored after I messed up the citrus earlier, right? Oh, you're fine, Soph. I'm not exactly being chatty anymore either. I've sort of stopped asking questions apparently. Add all this chicken back in here. Gonna add an extra cup of water to this pan just for cooking. How often can you do that with a pan that's not cast iron? Like instant boil from pouring in a whole cup of water. And then we've got the leftovers of the marinade in there as well. We're gonna allow that to cook. We need to add some other seasoning in there. We need a little garlic. Cumin. I'll let that bubble. I'm going to mute while I blend these strawberries. Adding a touch of the simple syrup that I just made in there with that. This time I'm not going to pour it down the sink. Wow, that did a number on my strainer. All sorts of stuff stuck in my strainer from that. Okay, so we got our strawberry base. We've got our chicken cooking. I think I'm going to throw this in the fridge for a minute. Go back to working with tortillas. Now that our dough is rested and so soft. So supple. And put the chicken on the back burner with a towel because I'm a weak man that can't handle hot pans anymore. Move that over here. Drip whatever chicken juice we can in with the chicken. And wipe out the rest because we're going to cook our tortillas in this. Might have made this one a little too large compared to the rest. Oh well. I don't care about consistency anyways. I hate consistency in food. They should be all wonky in different sizes, shapes, and colors, and I should also probably point out that I'm doing a strawberry margarita on a night of the strawberry moon. Not sure if any of you are in the wow, you picked that up immediately, bot. That's impressive. But for those of you where it's dark out, you might take a look at the moon. It might be sort of pinkish. You're supposed to cook. Why you no cook, tortilla? Flamado. Is that what happened with that volcano video I saw today? Saw a video somewhere where, and I don't know if it was AI or not, but I saw a video somewhere of essentially a fire tornado on top of a volcano. I just realized my light wasn't on back here. And I don't have anything to drink in the refrigerator for tonight. Oh, his nose. Oh. Meat, I still wouldn't trust it after time periods. Cooked or uncooked. Like, you get things in meat that just leave things behind that... We're doing all right. I'm braising chicken to make carnitas a bit later. I'm working on tortillas for that process. And I've got strawberries pureed to make a strawberry margarita on Strawberry Moon Night. We'd be relaxing. I made some simple syrup. Tortillas are 50% masa, 50% flour. And that one's a poofin'. Can we make it into a giant bubble? You think it's gonna make it, chat? It's about 60% there. Nope, I don't think it's gonna do it. Got some girth. Do your tortillas have girth? Let's see, what's going on in the world tonight? Ooh, what famous LA skyscraper just got sold? .333 South Hope Street. Oh, that one. Someone out there also mentioned earlier about how there's countries in Europe threatening to switch to Linux over Windows. You might also consider in that fact, I don't think Windows has ever charged in its history for updates up until now. And if you want to keep using Windows 10, they want you to pay up now. For Windows 10. If you're still using Windows 10, there's apparently a couple of ways that you can delay it. I don't know what they are. I haven't researched them, but apparently they exist. Which makes sense for some things. Like, I understand they can't afford to commit the resources to keep updating every version of Windows that's ever been created. It's a rather toughie for the small family franchise, say Pizza Hut, that's been using the same PC since the 90s with a green screen. You know, because all they're using it for is like a cash register. And they're going to have to pay to update, or that's a pain for them. But I see the Windows aspect of it too. Like, last of the tortillas going down. I don't know what I want to pour my drink into tonight. That concludes our tortilla cooking. Concludes our chicken cooking too. Let that chill while I make my drink. I guess I'll use a beaker. That was with a J. Yeah, I'm just gonna pour some in there. Strawberry. Final touch, a splash of lime. Hey, Mimic. And we've got our margarita. So not a slushy drink. I think that was Soph that asked me that earlier. But old school, proper margarita. Combination of tequila, Cointreau, along with strawberry simple syrup, and a little bit of lime. That's probably going to hit me like a freight train. It has been a while since I've had anything alcoholic. Kirkland went and made all of their liquor bottles enormously tall, so they don't fit in the shelf hardly. Like, that tequila bottle, I have to angle it to get it underneath the lip of the shelf in order to get it on there with everything else I have. Okay, chicken. Back to chicken. I need to shred all of this chicken, or break it all up and... I have a bunch of carrots I've been needing to cook, and just find a pan to cut up. Had a random idea to blend them Try and fry them up like mashed potatoes or something. Some seasoning. Yeah, you can do mashed carrots. Pride of the old folks' home. Little thyme, little honey, little citrus. Well, this is certainly citrusy. I got all sorts of citrus from that one little bite, so I'm feeling better about throwing away all that marinade earlier. I can't believe I did that. I still can't believe that I did that. Add the chicken all back in with the sauce once again. Get it all nicely coated once again. Okay, we got that. We got that. Nice strawberry flavor. Like, real strawberries. Good flavor. I can't stand artificial strawberry flavor compared to the real thing. On the other hand, some candy flavors are better than the real thing. Alright, we have that, we have that. I think our next step here is getting ourselves a broiler going. I guess I could have done this. I could do this straight in that. Not get this. Yeah, let's just do that straight in the cast iron. So since we don't have a grill to make these, or anything along that line, the method I have chosen is braising them, and then we're going to finish them under the broiler, so we're going to get the crispiness here now of the chicken. I'm trying to think through what I'm forgetting tonight. I feel like there should be more to tonight's dinner. I guess we can put together some sort of a, cabbage. Green onion topping for the thing. Welcome in, Dream. No. Green onion down. So we got our cabbage, our green onion. And to that, we're going to add salt so it starts breaking down a bit. MSG, pepper, fancy olive oil, splash of lime, I think a shake of chili ancho just to throw it off a little bit. It's whoa, throw it maybe off a lot. That was a lot of chili ancho. Or ancho chili. Spanish speakers will understand. I don't know why we gotta flip everything between these languages and which part the noun is and what part of the adjective is. Cheers. Mighty tasty. Okay, we got our oven up high. We're going to throw our chicken underneath the broiler now. Nope, that's too low. I was debating leaving it, but I can't. Let's get you up closer to that flame. Hey, Amir. Yeah, Toll House and Nestle's, they got that dialed in. There's also people that have sat there and, like, there's blogs that you can find online of people that have shown, you know, well, if you use half an egg, if you use a whole egg, you use 1.5 eggs, you 2 eggs, and do the same thing with butter, the same amount with sugar, same thing with, to show you the differences that you get in your cookies and your doughs between the different volumes. I should make a chocolate. Was it this weekend or next weekend that I was thinking of doing that? I decided it was too much, but apparently one of these states that I got in the next couple of weeks here, their claim to fame as far as desserts is a base. Their dessert is a base of Rice Krispie treats mixed with butterscotch chips and then topped with chocolate. I was tempted. By the way, this is absolutely hitting me like a freight train. Like, I've had 3 sips of this and I can feel it. We're gonna do the chicken 10 minutes underneath the broiler, which is a fair amount of time under a broiler, but we have liquid in there with it, protecting it, and it's in the cast iron that it is not raging hot. We're more looking to get some sear on the top of the chicken than we are, like it's already been cooked through, it's already been chopped up, it's already cooked. We're trying to make it crispy and textured and looking delicious. Let's see, we have sour cream to go on these, we have jalapenos to go on these. We can grab those at least for now, but getting ahead of myself, sort of. I think I might take a 5-minute breather here. How are we looking on ads? Where are we looking at our ad break here? The question that I have now is, am I going to serve this piecemeal? Like I'm doing fajitas at a restaurant? Or am I going to make myself some tacos just out of the carnitas? I think I'm just going to make myself some tacos, but we got 7 minutes here on this timer. I'm going to take a 5-minute breather. I will see all of your lovely faces back here in a couple minutes.
What are you doing here? You ought to be outside with the rest of the kids.
This is where Thanksgiving really begins, isn't it, Edgar?
Well, now, if you're referring to the aroma of roast turkey, I concur.
No, Ray, I was talking about the kitchen. It looks like a real center of hospitality.
Did you say hospitality?
Uh-huh.
That's one thing we're always prepared for around here. Help yourself.
Wouldn't this be a good time for you and your guests to have Coca-Cola too?
Yes, and Coca-Cola is so delicious, so refreshing, so tempting to any guest when you bring out those familiar bottles with tiny beads of moisture running down their frosty sides, assuring you that the Coke inside is really ice cold. And the good, the gracious, the friendly homes of America are always prepared for hospitality, not only on Thanksgiving Day, but every day all the year around, no matter who comes to call or who happens to drop in. And one of the easiest, simplest, and surest ways in the world to be prepared for hospitality is to have plenty of Coca-Cola in your refrigerator, ice cold and ready to serve all the time. It's a wonderful way to say to folks, so glad you came. Welcome anytime.
Daddy! Gee, Mom was counting on that Jell-O cake for Johnny's Scout meeting tomorrow. Okay, Daddy. It's so easy to make a cake with Betty Crocker cake mix. I'll make her another one. White cake, devil's food, yellow cake.
It's a good thing her mom's modern. I'm Betty Crocker. With my yellow cake mix, all you do is add water and a couple of fresh eggs. The other ingredients are in the package. Same fine things you'd use right in your own home. You'll get a perfect cake just like this, or write General Mills, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they'll send your money back. A high cake, a light cake, a better tasting cake.
And don't think it isn't. That's why Betty Crocker herself says,
I guarantee a perfect cake every time you bake, cake after cake after cake.
Here's an amazing free offer for everyone who's overweight. Even if you've tried other methods and failed, you can still lose ugly fat fast. Yes, thousands can tell you that calometric control is the only safe, sure, effective way to reduce. Now, this package contains the Wonder 10-Day Diet that gives you 3 delicious meals a day, plus a bedtime snack, even includes a jog for your willpower. Yet you take only 3 calometric tablets a day. And here's the sensational free offer. A 30-day supply of wonderful calometric tablets. A certified $3.50 value when you buy the regular calometric way to weight control. You save $3.50. Now, that's a $7 value for only $3.50. A 50% saving. And how can you get your free bottle of calometric tablets? Well, just send in this calometric box top with your name and address. Your druggist will give you a postage-paid envelope already addressed to the calometric company. Now, don't lose hope, lose weight. Get calometric reducing formula at your drugstore. Send the box top in the free postage-paid envelope. Get your $3.50 bottle of calometric tablets free. Don't wait. Act now.
If you're a student, a mother active in club work, a man who brings work home from the office, this was made for you. The Remington Office Writer, a new kind of portable designed to give you the extra features you need. King-size carriage, so long it can handle a sheet of school notebook paper lengthwise. Look, the Office Writer types nearly the full 11-inch length of the paper, the only portable it can. The Office Writer types up to 10 carbons, so that even the very last copy is easy to read. Cuts clear, clean stencils unlike any ordinary portable. See the exciting new Remington Office Writer at your dealers. The price only $149.50, carrying case at slight additional cost. Available after a small down payment for only $1.50 a week. Terms payable monthly, including taxes and a small carrying charge.
If you've ever been to Venice, you remember the gondolas and the picturesque waterways. And you remember the food, too. Superb food, prepared with that very special Italian touch. The same special Italian touch that Chef Boyardee sauce with meat can give to your meals over here. Because the recipe for this tangy sauce has been brought over from Italy by this famous Italian chef. Chef Boyardee sauce with meat is made from juicy, sun-ripened tomatoes and tender quality beef, simmered in a spicy sauce that makes a rice and cheese loaf, a casserole, or a spaghetti dish a real Italian-style dish. So when you'd like to add that special Italian touch to your dinner, do it with Chef Boyardee sauce with meat. Try Chef Boyardee sauce with mushrooms, too. Both are prepared from the chef's own Italian recipe.
I back. There we go. You can hear me that time. So we got another minute and a half. Minute and a half on the timer there. Let's see what we got for our 10 minutes here. Did we get browning? Did we get cooking on top? We got some browning. We got some maybe crispy bits of chicken there. That's looking pretty decent there. I'm happy with that. It's going to make some nice tacos. Or you could just eat it straight. Like I said, carnitas is normally like with a couple of sides or some lettuce or a little bit of mix it up with sort of like the cheese platter of meat dishes, where sometimes you'll have it just the meat with your typical accompaniments of lettuce and tomato and some other veggies. Sometimes you have it wrapped up in a taco. Sometimes you have it in a burrito. Like, so we'll pull that off to the side here. Put that up there. Move this over here. And we're going to start making some tacos. Start off with some of those chicken carnitas, bottom of our tortillas. Our cabbage and green onion, seasoned cabbage and green onion. Is this a brand new thing? I thought I had opened this already. And then we'll finish with a little pickled jalapeno. Chicken's pretty tasty all by itself. Oh yeah. Good stuff. Let's take a photo of this before we move on. What did I do with my phone? I took it in the back, didn't I? Why did I take my phone in the back? Let's see if this will stop the ads. I don't think it will. I missed. I was too late anyways. Darn it. I'll repeat myself. It is a strawberry moon night tonight. Whether you can see me or not, because of silly camera. What you looking at, camera? I'm over here. It's a strawberry moon tonight, which was fitting for my strawberry margarita. I appreciate the cheer, Jana. Appreciate that. Jana Ray. I don't know what I'm going to do for the next minute here while we wait for ad people to come back. We're basically calling it here. We have our deliciousness. Oh, that's what we can do. That's what I need to do. What am I cooking on Wednesday? Oh, Soph is going to be happy. Sesame has finally won against Sunny D. And so, Wednesday, we will be using sesame seeds in dinner and dessert. Still sitting here wondering, is there a sesames? I'm actually a little surprised that it didn't win. Like, comparing it to past votes, I'm a little surprised that chat didn't go for Sunny D. That said, my honest opinion, Sunny D is sort of disgusting. It tastes like a powdered drink. Like, if I want a powdered drink, I'd just buy myself some Country Time or something. But it's like I'm paying for the already hydrated powdered drink. So I'm sort of happy that Sesame won over Sunny D. Sunny D has won in the past, I believe. We'll give everyone the angle view of our delicious dinner here. Give that a zoom in. People like to vote for the weird stuff. Yeah. So I think this wraps up this lovely evening. I hope I did justice to chicken carnitas and margaritas for Theycanseeme, our theme sponsor of the evening. And yeah, I shall be back here on Wednesday doing Sesame. I will be doing cutting glass ahead of Wednesday's stream in the morning. 10 to 1 is the plan. Still not sold on what I'm planning to do on Wednesday. It's up in the air between two things. And I have to figure out tomorrow which one I'm going to do. So you'll find out on Wednesday when the stream starts what I'm doing. Definitely making mashed carrots again. Were they delicious? I hope they were. I appreciate all of you hanging out with me tonight. And I don't think I'm going to raid out tonight. I think I am going to thank all of you for hanging out with me tonight. Say I will be here on Wednesday, I will be here on Friday, I'll be here on Sunday, and I'll be here next Monday. I wish you all a wonderful week. I hope it started off wonderful and finishes out quickly. See you Wednesday.